Why is the Finnish border loaded with Russian troops, tanks, and fighter jets? While this isn't at the scale of the Ukraine military buildup before they invaded in February of 2022, it's still not the most pleasant sight, especially for the Finns. Russia and Finland share about a 1,000-mile border, and they don't have the best, most recent history. I'm just referring to the Russian invasion of Finland during World War II, where even though the Russians won against the Finns, they were humiliated. The Russians lost between 300,000 to 400,000 troops, and the Finnish only lost 70,000. The only reason why the Finnish people surrendered is they literally ran out of bullets. Does this mean that Russia wants to invade Finland? I don't think so, just because Finland is a member of NATO. Ukraine wasn't. That is the only reason why Russia attacked. The reason why it's so different between Finland and Ukraine is that if one Russian soldier even puts 1 foot on Finnish soil, then all 32 NATO countries will band together and crush whatever Russia is. Remember that Ukraine has been holding Russia back for 3 years with antiquated NATO equipment. Imagine how badly Russia would be flattened if NATO actually went all in. And let's not forget, Finland will not run out of bullets this time. Finland has been cooperating with NATO for decades on defense preparation for one purpose and one purpose only: to fight against Russia if they ever decide to invade again. And most people still underestimate how tough Finland still is. Finland is one of the few countries that still has conscription, with 21,000 new recruits every year. There is a part-time war reserve of 280,000 well-trained troops, and if the time ever came for the Finnish to serve their country, 870,000 could be pulled to defend. And while over a dozen other NATO countries have been extraordinarily lazy in defense spending, Finland was one of the few countries that kept their defense at 2% or above GDP. It's been reported, with the exception of Russia, that Finland has the ability to project more artillery firepower than any other European nation. And Finland is one of the most technologically advanced countries in the planet. They already have a growing and robust drone industry in which they've been helping Ukraine. If Russia ever set foot in Finland, you would see a huge leap in drone advancement with that country alone, much to Russia's detriment. And when it comes to cyber warfare, Finland has the best cybersecurity on the planet and one of the most effective means of cyber warfare. Russia would be going in 1 million troops down against a fresh Finland backed by the wealth and might of all of NATO. But then why else would the Russian military be building up right by Finland? This isn't the first time a Russian neighbor getting accepted to NATO leads to military buildups on that border. When the Baltic countries joined NATO, Russia built up huge troop formations all along this border, especially in this little pocket of Russia called Kaliningrad, which is between Poland and Lithuania. So it could just be standard procedure. Second, I wouldn't be surprised if Russians were going to set up a huge amount of jamming equipment all along the Finnish border, because most likely NATO will be setting up a lot of practice operations in Finland as well. The third reason, maybe this is some kind of feint on the Russian military. I doubt this feint is going to be anything that tricks NATO, because the US surveils everything Russia does, and we share our intelligence for the most part with Ukraine. But who knows, maybe he can really scare the people of Finland and the rest of NATO that potentially he's going to invade Finland. We start to see maybe not as much troop concentration on certain parts of the Ukraine border. Boom, Russia goes in, takes more territory here. Maybe Russia is going to attack or try to reclaim some of its former lost USSR territory, since they are not in NATO and much easier pickings. Or maybe Russia is trying to fake out China, suggesting that they are going to be devoting too many resources to the east. So maybe China could actually grab the land that is claiming on the new Chinese map that happens to be in currently Russian territory. But everyone should be prepared for that small 0.5% chance that Russia is stupid enough to actually invade Finland, because Russia and Russia's leadership have a long history of making very stupid, self-destructive mistakes. I am the Geo Husar. It makes absolutely no sense to open up a second front in this war, but as Napoleon said, when your enemy is making a mistake, don't interrupt them. Thanks for watching.